Hey guys, it's been a very long time since you have been on this channel. To those of you who are new, welcome. My name is Mari J, and I've had this channel for a very long time now, and I took about 1.5 years worth of break for good reason too. I'm a mother, surprise! And that's what I'm here to talk about today, is my birth story. Yes, another birth story. I guess I'm just adding to YouTube the amount of birth stories out there. But yeah, I am about a month postpartum, so my son is about a month. He's not a month yet, but in about 2 days he'll be a month. I love him very much. It's been a journey with him. He's my world. It took a lot to put this makeup on, just to know that I was even debating putting makeup on, and I was just going to show you guys the raw, like how a mother looks, and I just decided against it because I don't think you guys want to really see that. I have a son. His name is Emmanuel, after his dad. He's a junior. He's a great kid. He looks nothing like me, but it's okay. I'll make a separate video about postpartum stuff just because that's a whole lot and I don't want to construe it into this birth story video. Yeah, to the point now. Birth story. It was the early morning of February 28th, the last day of freaking February. I woke up to what was like, I thought was really bad Braxton Hicks. At that point, I probably was about 37, 38-ish weeks. And it was like 4 in the morning and I woke up to like this pain. And when I'm sleeping, I don't wake up for nothing. So I knew like this was something like unusual. I waited for about 2 hours and then I woke up my boyfriend and I was like, babe, like this pain isn't stopping. Like I feeling like I don't know if I'm in labor, because like, you know, I'm a first time mom. I don't know what labor feels like. Like I don't know what this is like. And I was like, you know, trying to see if I should call my doula, I should call the midwife. And I was like, no. So, but it got to the point where I told him to call. So they told me, get in the tub, see if I get comfortable, try to get as comfortable as I can. At this point, my yoga ball was in my room. I was in the tub, so I was in the tub and I was timing contractions. So they were coming 5 minutes apart and they were lasting for a minute. Now, if they were coming 5 minutes apart and lasted 5 minutes, that is labor. So I'm like, okay, I'm in labor. So I'm there in the tub, trying to relax. And this pain, it's coming, but it's not really hitting me. You know, I could do everything and the pain is bad, but it's not hitting. So after about half an hour in the tub, I got up, I showered myself, and I went outside the tub. I went on the yoga ball and it still was there, but it wasn't like bad. Cause I could walk around, I could like do everything else. It was just like, it just felt like really bad period cramps. They said, have you lost your mucus plug? Have you lost your, have you seen a bloody show? Have your water broke? None of that happened. And they was like, just try to calm down. It's probably false labor. So I did, and I tried to go back to sleep. But at this point, my boyfriend was on the phone with the doula. She was like, yeah, try to get some rest. And the midwife actually asked me if I wanted to go in the hospital. And I was like, no, because I didn't feel like it was really progressing. Nothing really had happened down there except I was just getting false contractions. So after that, because at this point I was tired and I was in pain, I fell asleep. Now for the next 4 days, I didn't feel anything. It was just a whole bunch of Braxton Hicks and I was like, this is bullshit. Like this is not getting anywhere. At this point, I was on maternity leave. So like I would get up, I would eat dates, bounce on my yoga ball. I would take little walks outside when the weather permitted, because I live in Rochester and the weather isn't that great every day, so I can't really go outside like that. Me and Mr. Man would do the do when we can, because that helps. I was starting to drink a lot of red raspberry leaf tea, and yeah, that was just like my routine, and just like really take it easy. You know, you kind of, at that point, you kind of have to listen to your body. I'm definitely feeling a lot of signs of early labor, a lot of Braxton Hicks. I know that Braxton Hicks because it's just a tightening of the belly. It's nothing beyond that, and then it goes away. I feel like real labor will feel like back pain, like somebody's sitting on my back, plus the tightening of the stomach, plus the pelvis pressure. So I feel like that's what labor is gonna feel like, and it's just not gonna let up no matter what I do. So if I don't give birth before next week, I think this is the last time I'll be updating you guys, at least for a minute.
I will try to update you guys as much as I can when he is here. Just please have some grace with me, because the way they're talking about first week, second week, first month, it's not gonna be easy. And if I already feel this way without sleep, it's give me grace.
Now, on the evening of March 3rd, I decided, you know what? The kitchen is dirty. The living room is dirty. We have some laundry to do. I gonna do it. At this point, I want my son out of me. I enjoyed him being in me, and all the attention I was getting. But at this point, I was ready to meet my king, my little prince. So I didn't realize at the time that I was nesting. I put in my AirPods. I washed the dishes. I vacuumed the floors. I cleaned the living room. I did the laundry, and it took me like 2-3 hours. So at this point, I'm tired. I went in the shower to bathe. It was like midnight. So at this point, it was March 4th. And as I'm showering, I noticed like this booger looking thing, this, booger looking thing in the shower. And I almost missed it. Lo and behold, my mucus plug. I got so excited. I was like, yes, the mucus plug. I'm going to be close to labor soon. Of course, after I took a shower, as I usually do, I Googled it and I was like, okay, how long would it take when you lose your mucus plug? Well, it could be days, it could be weeks. And I was like, dang it, gotta probably wait. So as usual, I went to sleep. And at this point in pregnancy, you pee in every 2 hours, every hour, whatever. So I got up at 2 o'clock. I went to pee, nothing unusual. I went back to sleep. 4 o'clock, I got up, went to pee. I'm wiping and I'm like, this feels a little too liquidy. I'm half asleep, so I'm like wiping. And I'm like, wait. So I looked at it, it turned on light, blood. So I'm like, oh. Like, what's his name in The Office when he's like, it's happening. That was my face. I was like, bloody show. At this point, my boyfriend had went to DoorDash the night before. So he was downstairs and he had just gotten home. So I texted him because I didn't really, I'm big as a house. I'm not going down the stairs. Bedroom's right there. So I texted him and I'm like, hey, I think I might be going into labor soon because I lost my mucus plug at midnight and now I'm seeing the bloody show. I'm not feeling any contractions yet, but I'm just letting you know. I didn't pay it any mind. I tried to go to sleep and then I started to feel contractions. The same type of contractions I felt on February 28th. So in my mind, I'm like, not this again, false labor. I don't think I can go anywhere. But then like he did the whole shebang again. Like he called the midwives, he called my doula. And they were like, at this point, the midwives were like, did you lose your mucus plug? Yes. Did you lose it? Did you see bloody show? Yes. Did your water break? No. So that was the only thing that didn't happen. So I did the whole shebang again, went in the tub, I was chilling. And actually, when I was in the tub, I texted my mom and I'm like, hey, ma, at this point, it was like 4 in the morning. Hey, ma, I might be going into labor, just to let you know. Didn't think anything of it. This is how I know it was real. Like I got out the tub, showered myself down, and I could not walk. The pain was so bad that I had to like stop and catch my breath. I was like, okay. And that's when I knew like, this is labor. This is the real deal. Like I am going to have this boy either today or tomorrow. It got to the point the midwives on the phone was like, do you want to stay home and labor or do you want to come into the hospital? Now in my mind, my cheap self, I wanted to stay home. But I told myself, no, something in me just knew that if I stayed at home. So I said, nah, I'm going to go to the hospital. We're going to come to the hospital. And I told myself, you know what? If it's false labor again, then it's false labor again. But at least we was there and, didn't play around with it. I already had a set of clothes set aside for this day just to make it easy. Like I said, it's Rochester. Like you can't just throw on anything and go outside. You have to winter down if it's winter outside, or you could throw anything on if it's summer outside, but then it might become winter again. So you still have to winterize. Throw on my clothes. And while I'm putting on my clothes, like it's getting worse. Like I have to like stop and be like, advice for men: when your woman is laboring, please don't touch her, don't talk to her, don't do nothing. Just let the contraction pass. My boyfriend God bless his soul, he is amazing. Like, he was trying to help me put on my clothes, but then as I was contracting, it was so painful that like I really needed to catch my breath, and every time I contracted, he wanted to touch me, and I was like, after a while I felt bad, but it was like the pain is so bad that you just don't want nobody to touch you. Like, you need to focus on getting the pain out of you, if that makes sense. Put on my clothes, we get downstairs. Now, mind you, at this point, I went through this whole drill thing with my boyfriend. I've been going over with him for probably a couple of months and be like, hey, I'm in labor, what do you do? You know, so we got this drill thing down. Pack bags in the car. He's helping me down the stairs. I'm telling him, like, hurry the hell up, because at this point I could feel the pain getting worse and it's coming fast. I get in the car. I can't even sit in the passenger seat. Like, I go in the back seat along with the car seat, and I am like dying. Like, not full on screaming, but like, Those of you who never been in labor, or if you can't be labor because you're a man, labor basically feels like food poisoning on crack. We go into the hospital, and at this point I'm trying not to yell at my boyfriend, but I really would like for him to be at the hospital in like 0.2 seconds. We don't live too far from the hospital, surprisingly. We live about 10 minutes away. I've seen stories where women waited and they were like, yeah, we live about an hour away from the hospital. We get to the hospital, he parks, there's no valet parking because of COVID. And we walk into the main entrance. People are watching me funny because I stop in because I contracting and and people can't really tell that I'm pregnant because the coat that I had on, it was black, and like I was carrying small. So people were like, what the hell is her problem? We get to the front desk. The lady was so nice. She was like, what you here for? My boyfriend was like kind of panicking, but not really showing it. He was like, yeah, my girlfriend's in labor. We call the midwives, they come in. And the lady is so nice. She gave me a wheelchair while she talking to me, and I contracted. She talking to me. She's like, yeah, my daughter had a baby last week. He was so cute. You know, she tried to distract me, you know, and she did her job. I was like, yeah. While I crying because the contractions were so bad. We get to triage to check me in, and the lady at the front desk asked me questions, and I just get frustrated because it's like, see, I labor right now. Why are you asking me this? So my boyfriend, God bless his heart, he's trying his best to answer all the questions because he already know I'm in labor. He answers all the questions. The lady at the front desk, she's considerate. She's probably seen this a hell of a lot before. Then she was putting on my name band. I contracted again, and she was like, okay, I'll wait. She waited until I finished, and it went by, and then I signed my name or whatever, checked me in, got me in a little triage room. I probably had about 2 contractions waiting for the doctor, and the doctor was like coming in like, she came in like 5 minutes. So she came, she checked me. She said, oh, I just feel the water, but I just feel the water. Your water hasn't broken yet, but I'm not trying to break it. You are going to get checked in right now. Congrats, miss. You about to have a baby today. At this point, those women who have children will tell you that there comes a point in labor that it just becomes blurry. After that triage area, it kind of became blurry to me because the pain was so freaking bad. I didn't want to labor with any kind of pain meds, no epidural, nothing. Mind you, at this time it's like 7-8 o'clock. They wheeled me to a room quick because they was like, are we feeling this water bag? Like, we ain't feeling nothing. She closed. They wheeled me into the room. Everything happened so fast. Nurses come, they prepped the bed, everything. I had on my gown and everything. My doula wasn't there yet. I was panicking. Not really panicking, but I was panicking. They finally got me on the bed. I was just relieved to be in the hospital and not in the car delivering a baby. In between my contractions, I tell my boyfriend, please call my mom, call such and such and such, tell them I'm in the hospital, I labor. So my boyfriend called my mom while he on the phone with her. This is what she told me after. She's like, I could hear you in the background, like, half dying. I calmed down once I saw my doula. My doula came in. I probably was, they never told me my centimeters, by the way, so I assume I was like 8 centimeters at the point where my doula came. Mind you, I have no pain meds in my system. They gave me a little injection, tried to give me IV in case I ball out epidural, which I too much of a bad man to do that. Doula comes, she's amazing. She's asking me if I want ice, and it's the good chewy ice, so I take some of the ice. And RuPaul music. Music is the one thing that got me through labor, I must say. As a musician, if you're a musician and you find yourself hyper focused when you listening to music or producing music, and you happen to have a child, please get a mini speaker in your room. When I tell you that it could just take away all your pain and you can just forget everybody in the room, get you a speaker, get you some music, make a playlist, because that's what I did. And when everybody around me was yelling, I listened to my music and I counted. I 1, 2 it in my head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and I breathe in to it. Like, labor gets to a point where it's just so bad that you can't focus on nothing but the pain and to just get the pain out. I was on my back at first, then it started to get super bad. I was in super active labor when I went on all fours. And when I went on all fours, my body just took over and I just, okay, this is going to sound gross, but like, you know, like when you're on the toilet and you have to take a stool, and at some point when you're taking the stool, your body takes over and just kind of pushes the stool out. It's the same for labor. So I was on all fours and it just came to a point where my body was pushing for me. I wasn't even pushing. I just kind of had to breathe through it. That's when I was, So as that was happening, my water broke and I felt just water just going down my legs. But I didn't care. Like, you was so much pain, you don't care. So I push and I'm like, That's happening for a minute. Then I turn on my back. The nurse kind of checks me and she don't feel nothing. Time to push. I pushed him out in 45 minutes and he was born at 9:33. I had a really short labor. Like, it was super short. From the time I started, it was 4 in the morning. By the time I delivered him, it was 9:33 in the morning. So about 5 hours as a first-time mom. All the nurses in the room was just astonished. Like, the head nurse even came to me. She a sister, by the way. She came to me and was like, you don't really see that. Like, a first-time mom, no pain meds, know what she doing, and just push her baby out like nothing. By the way, I didn't tear. She looked down there and she was like, you don't need any stitches. I was like, long story short, I had a picture perfect labor. I don't know if that's going to happen again if I decide to have other children. I probably was laboring in my sleep from the time I lost my mucus plug, but I didn't know it. And yeah, so what helped me was I control my breathing. I did perineal massages. I can cover all of that in my postpartum video. And I basically listened to my body. So like, really listen to your body, breathe through it. Don't fight against the pain. Like, you gotta know you gotta redirect the pain. Don't fight it, because that's how women rip. Redirect it. Yeah, that was it. It was beautiful. I cried when I saw my son. He looks just like his father and nothing like me. And it's okay, because I love his daddy. You shake for you get like pregnancy shakes, like for like 30 minutes to an hour, and it goes away. Like, your hormones on high when you deliver. And yeah, my labor was great. It was great. I'll try to share some videos. I'll try to share some pictures in between this video here so you guys could kind of see and gauge like everything. But yeah, thank you guys for sticking around this long and listening to my birth story. I hope you have a great day. And my son is downstairs with his dad, which is why you don't really see him with me. But if you follow my socials, you'll see tons and tons and tons of pictures of my adorable son. I hope to be making videos with him in the future, and I hope to be making more content here. And yeah, that is why I haven't been making content, because I have been focusing on my son. Have a good day, guys. Subscribe, like, comment, share. Stay safe. Don't have sex.